Hey everybody, it's Dr. Jaria C. Aljoe, author, leader, mentor, and change agent, here with the latest episode of Dig Deep Conversations with Christian Leaders. You all know the drill, but if you're new here, first of all, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching or listening if you're listening on the podcast. Our topic for tonight is social inequality in education. So this is a part two. I did a part one last season where I had folks come on who were talking specifically about inequality in higher education. I wanted to shift the conversation to the K through 12 part of the education system. And I had some great guests on. We had TK Johnson come on and talk about her experience as a teacher in the classroom. And I also wanted to bring on an administrator as well to talk with us about how we as Christian leaders can help make our classroom spaces and our schools and connect our churches to help make education more equitable for all of our students. So if you're new here, I'm Dr. Jaria C. Aljoe with Jaria Shanee Ministries. Part of Jaria Shanee Ministries is Dig Deep. We are a community of like-minded individuals who are just impassioned and intentional about deepening our relationship with God. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest for this evening. Lakia, come on and say hi. How's it going? How are you? Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just so happy that you could say yes, that we were able to work our schedules out and everything. I know I'm getting ready to start the school year. At this point, the point of recording the podcast, the semester starts on Monday, so things are getting hectic. I'm sure things are hectic for you. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on and just have this conversation. I really appreciate it. Yes. Love that. Love that. So if you could just tell our guests and our listeners just a little bit about who you are and your journey to becoming an educator, and the work that you do for your church. I have somewhat of a similar story because I tell people all the time, I don't know how I became like I'm a whole professor. Like that was not on my list of want to do. Um, I did not want to be in education. Yeah, I wanted to be in business. I have my bachelor's in business and marketing and PR. Like that's what I wanted to do, event management, that type of thing. And similarly, my aunt would always call me and people would always say, you're so good at teaching, you should teach. And I'm like, nah, I'm all set. No, even like the levels of degrees that I have, like I just was like, I'm getting my bachelor's, it's what I'm supposed to do. And then like that's it, like I'm done. But I tell people when I gave God a yes, I don't know what I was saying yes to, but I meant that yes. And so I gave him that yes, that came with getting the additional degrees, working in education, and doing what I'm doing now. So very similar. I'm like, if you had asked me 20 years ago or 20 years ago, you'll be working in education, I would have laughed at you and been like, yeah, no, not me. But here I am. I don't know, but it's God. So there you go. Mm. Wow. Wow. Yes. Yeah. Same. Mm. Okay. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Correct. 100% correct. Yep. Yeah, I tell my students, I was not, like you said, I was not a straight A student. Education and academics came very hard, not very hard, but it came hard for me. And this is nothing, I know this is nothing but God. And so I think about with this conversation tonight about social inequality in education, I think about children, parents and families like yourself, myself, where it education is something that is a challenge or an obstacle. We know that education can a lot of times help people get from one socioeconomic status to another. It can help sort of generational wealth and that sort of thing. So I want to get into our questions for tonight. With the first question being, what biblical principles should guide Christians in their approach to addressing educational disparities? And I try and explain too. So I teach part time, and I teach a number of different courses. One of my favorites is first year seminar, and it's a first year student coming in fall semester. And I try and explain to them within like the first 3 weeks, this is why you are here. You have decided to come to college, and it's not for everyone. And I will be the first person to tell people that college is not for everyone. However, agreed, or as you said, a degree will give you access to rooms that you might not otherwise have access to. Now, we know there are certainly outliers. There are examples of people who do not have degrees who have access to different things. However, generally speaking, uh, having an education, a higher level of education gives you access. And I try and explain to my students exactly that, where I can go on a job and a person that has a lower degree than I do, I can demand a higher salary simply because of the level of my degree. You can't do that everywhere. And trying to help them to understand it's okay if you don't want to go on